You might think losing self-respect happens all at once, like a dramatic betrayal or a single moment of weakness. But the truth is, it's often much quieter. Tiny, unnoticed habits chip away at your self-esteem until one day you wake up wondering how you got so far off course. Today, I'll reveal 6 subtle habits that might be eroding your self-respect and how you can take it back. As Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly. It is through small steps that we either build greatness or destroy it." Let's make sure you're building something worth respecting. Habit number 1, making excuses for your mistakes. Every time you make an excuse, you give away a little bit of your personal power. It might feel harmless to say, "It wasn't my fault," but deep down, you're teaching yourself that you can't handle accountability. And if you don't believe in your ability to own your mistakes, how can you ever respect yourself? Imagine you're late to a dinner with friends. You blame traffic, even though you know you left late. What you're really saying to yourself is, "I don't trust myself enough to be honest." It is more necessary to study the bounds of our actions than the bounds of our power. Marcus Aurelius. Taking ownership of your actions, even the uncomfortable ones, shows that you respect yourself enough to face reality. Replace excuses with ownership. Next time something goes wrong, take 10 seconds to reflect. What part of this was in my control? Own it, correct it, move on. Habit number 2. Letting your environment dictate your mood. When you allow external factors, like other people's opinions or random inconveniences, to dictate your emotions, you're handing over control of your inner world. And self-respect begins with mastering what happens inside, not outside. Think about walking into a room where someone is in a bad mood, and suddenly you're in a bad mood too. You didn't choose your reaction, you absorbed it. Epictetus reminds us, we suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. Letting your environment control you shows a lack of boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. When your mood shifts, pause and ask, is this mine to feel, or am I letting the outside world dictate my inner peace? Practicing this awareness builds resilience and self-control. Habit number 3, failing to define your own values. If you don't define your own values, society will gladly define them for you. And the result? You chase goals that aren't yours, compare yourself to others, and feel perpetually dissatisfied. Living by someone else's standards is one of the quickest ways to lose self-respect. Think of someone who works tirelessly for a promotion because they believe it's what success looks like, only to get it and feel empty. Why? Because they never stop to ask, is this even what I want? What is good must also be useful. And what is useful is what accords with your own nature. Seneca. Define your values clearly and let them guide your actions. Take 10 minutes today to write down your top 3 values. Then ask yourself, are my daily actions aligned with these values? If not, what needs to change? Habit number 4, consuming more than you create. We live in an era of endless consumption, but here's the thing. When you consume more than you create, you're passively absorbing life instead of actively shaping it. This imbalance tells your subconscious that your voice, your ideas, and your contributions don't matter. Take John, who spends hours scrolling social media, but never posts the art he's passionate about creating. Over time, he starts feeling invisible, because in a way, he's made himself invisible. The mind that is not prepared for creation is ungrateful for its gifts. Musonius Rufus, respect yourself by using your unique talents to contribute to the world. Set a creation to consumption ratio. For every hour you consume content, spend 30 minutes creating something, writing, painting, brainstorming ideas. Build a habit of contributing. Habit number 5, tolerating half-hearted effort. When you accept mediocrity in your actions, you silently agree that you're not capable of more. Over time, this habit erodes your self-respect. Excellence isn't about perfection, it's about effort. Think of someone who constantly procrastinates at work, then rushes to finish projects just to meet the deadline. They know they could do better, but they settle for good enough. As Marcus Aurelius said, do every act of your life as if it were the last. Next time you're tempted to rush, ask yourself, am I proud of this effort? If not, take 5 extra minutes to do it right. Small moments of excellence build monumental self-respect. Habit number 6. Ignoring your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue sets the tone for how you see yourself, and ultimately, how others see you. Negative self-talk often feels like the truth, but it's usually a bad habit left unchecked. Allowing it to continue unchallenged is like letting a bully live rent-free in your mind. Imagine telling a friend the things you say to yourself when you're frustrated. You'd never be that cruel to someone else, so why tolerate it in your own mind? Seneca said, "You have power over your mind. Realize this, and you will find strength." Start by realizing your inner voice is not always right. Each time you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause and reframe it. Replace "I'm such a failure" with "I'm learning," and setbacks are part of growth. Be the kind of friend to yourself that you'd want in your corner. Reclaiming your self-respect isn't about grand gestures, it's about consistent, intentional choices. As the Stoics teach us, greatness is built on small actions repeated daily. So, which of these habits will you start working on today? Remember, breaking these patterns is not just about feeling better, it's about becoming the person you respect most. The person you were always meant to be. Comment below. Which habit will you tackle first? Let's build a community of action takers, people who are ready to step into their power and live with unshakable self-respect. The journey starts now. Take the first step.